I can't believe I'm actually gonna have to restart this entire thing over again. I hate these ads that keep on popping up on my phone. Blame things right into it. Um, as y'all may have seen on previous videos of mine that I did, y'all may or may not have seen them. Um, but I'm type person. I'm not a big fan of the current government system that I live in. Um, I live in the United States, where we have a president system. We get the entire country from different states go like they go from California, get everybody to vote there, and focuses on the numbers. Okay, so 20% of the state voted for this person, to where the other 80% voted on that person, and then next state, so on and so on. Um, and then they take and calculate those votes all together, and then they decide who got the most votes, and then they get the office to vote and stuff like that. Um, it's just a really crazy process. But anyways, I'm not really a big fan of that. Basically, because in the past 30 years, our country ain't what it used to be. They've gotten rid of freedom religion, practice religions in schools, either it be Christianity, Buddhism, Hebrew, whatever the case may be. You can't really freely practice your religion in school. If you're in the lunchroom and you want to pray or pull out your Bible, or Muslim, they have certain times of the days where they have to pray in the east. I could be wrong. I know a little bit about other religions, but not much. But I know it's something about they. It's certain times of the day they get on the rug. I think it's either west, east, or west. They get down, but either way, you can't really freely practice your religion in school anymore. Without being criticized and saying you can't do that. It's not a proper place or time. You're offending other people for doing that. It's just crazy. They've done limited the Second Amendment. Basically, you have to go through all these laws and registrations before you're able to legally have a tool to defend yourself in case government was to ever attack. And I do believe that's why they did that, because used to families, if they decided to, would have a gun or a knife, anything like that, in every single room of the house. Obviously put up where kids couldn't get to it, but put up somewhere where if the government was to ever decide to attack us. I believe that's why they took that down first, because it started with that, then freedom of religion, then they started getting people in offices to sit down at a computer, a desk, and whatever. They started monitoring or every phone call or every text or every online conversation. In a way took away our freedom of speech. Get whatever we want, but not in the comfort of knowing what we want kept private gets kept private. So yeah, that is essentially taking away freedom of speech. Then they started doing all this other stuff. that just seriously dropped us down to the ground. Um, when when you think back to the first few presidents that we had, George Washington, he was a humble man. Abraham Lincoln, he was known for honesty. Uh, Franklin Roosevelt, he was a great leader. Um, you think back to all these presidents up until like Richard Nixon and stuff, just like been come harder and harder to come by, and we're basically not voting for, we're voting for rulers, people choose that get to control us. Part of the reason is because the way we're set. Another part is we actually don't take the time and think things through before we vote for someone, which is why Washington, this when I was like in middle school, when he first became president, when he got done with to war, he was a general before he was a president. He went to war, he fought off so many people. They said that when he was in battle, bullets went straight through the front and back of his clothing, went straight his horse, but not a bullet hit him or his horse. It went straightly. And the way he led the army got people to want him to be a leader of the country. It's something I learned. They originally offered him the role as king of the nation, where he then declined that role. He believed that not one man should have that much power. Ups, he declined it. That's been a great old and raised his kids up the right way. And then they also learn so on and so on. Although that doesn't always work either. But it would have been better than what we have to a certain point. The type of leadership, the type of government I believe we should have is basically a group of people in office. About 13, 15 people. What we have now, where people going like, hey, I want to be the leader of the country. I'm going to elect myself. I'm going to go run for office. A few differences and so basically, hey, I want to be in office. They go to office. These 13 to 15 people that are in office ask them a bunch of questions, and these questions are to decide of how fit this person could be. They ask them questions to determine how good their physical, their mental, and their spiritual strengths are three great every good leader. Physical, obviously, are they able to defend our country, to our country, to decide, okay, they're not going to make rash decisions. They're going to sit there and think things through. They're going to be wise as far as knowledge goes. They're going to give good advice and everything like that. And spiritual always have to do with God and angels and stuff. Spiritual can deal with like humble of a person is this. Kind of how forgiving basically person is he. Does he know the difference between right and wrong and stuff like this? So I believe they should vote for someone based off of these three qualities. People who actually test these people based off of these qualities. And I'm like talking whenever people could hear. I'm on YouTube. And then once they decide, once they possible rate that that person could, could potentially stay in office their entire life up until everybody starts feeling like they're no longer fit, that they don't fit these qualities anymore. If like they still fit these qualities, they can stay there their entire, but the moment they feel like they qualities anymore, they can basically vote them back out. So it's kind of like in a way, because they can stay their entire lives, if they're there their entire lives, potentially take up the role, but they can also get in and out if these qualities do. I do believe the spiritual, mental, and physical aspects are great, and I do believe that is what we need. If we were to have this system, it would work. I don't believe in countries, although I believe that some are better than worse than others. Essentially, in my opinion, us as Americans, as the United States, are potentially the least of them. We are not that great at all, what we used to be. But I do believe with this all could be better. We could become the way. It won't be perfect, but it would be better. If y'all have similar views of mine, let me know. Different views, let me know. President or kings are best choice, or if my choice is the best choice, different choice in the matter. Let me know. Actually, this is what America was. We were founded on the arguments to improve our own. One person says he likes because it's so juicy, to where another person says he likes because it's so sweet. And then they like that particular fruit. They might not change their minds, but they might be more about it. That's just an example. Arguing in a positive way is a good thing. If y'all have views in a positive way, let me know. As simple as that. And I will take into consideration of. But yeah, that's another bad thing about it. We don't openly argue our statements and be considerate about it. We don't do it in a healthy way anymore. You see on social media all the time, are like, oh, you can't have that opinion because I feel this way. To where it should be like, hey, I feel this way, and this is why I feel this way, and I would love to know why you feel the way you do. And back and forth, in a healthy way. It's a way to open mindsets. We don't do that anymore. In this day and age, we see arguing automatically as a bad thing. Like, I don't want to argue with you. Like, it's a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing. It's the way we do it. Um, when you basically say, "Oh, I feel this way, and this is the only way I can feel, and you should not feel the way you feel," and like that is a unhealthy argument. It's one-sided. Um, a healthy two-sided argument is what the world needs. But yeah. Just let me know in the comments what y'all think of my views for a better world is. Yeah, excuse me. Um, quiet, princess. But yeah, talk to y'all later. Keep it cool, keep it fresh.